What if your entire town disappeared? Not because of a natural disaster, not because of war, but because it dared to question the government? No ruins, no preserved downtown, no official apology, just erased. This is the story of a place so controversial that it was wiped off the map. A town that challenged authority and paid the ultimate price. And the strangest part? Most Americans have never heard of it. The town was Centralia. Founded in the 1800s, Centralia was a proud coal mining town in Pennsylvania. By the mid-20th century, it was home to over 1,000 residents. It had everything: schools, churches, mom-and-pop grocery stores, little league teams, generations of families who had lived there for decades. Like many American mining towns, coal wasn't just an industry, it was identity. But underneath the town was something dangerous. Miles of abandoned coal mines, dark tunnels, old shafts, and highly flammable coal seams. No one imagined that one small decision would ignite a chain reaction that could never be undone. In 1962, a controlled burn was set to clean up a local landfill. It seemed routine, but the fire spread. It slipped through a hidden opening and reached an exposed coal seam beneath the town. What happened next would shock the nation. The coal caught fire, deep underground, and it didn't go out. Weeks passed, then months, then years. Carbon monoxide began seeping into basements. The ground grew hot. Smoke rose from cracks in the earth. At one point, a 12-year-old boy nearly fell into a sudden sinkhole that opened beneath his backyard, a steaming pit dropping over 100 feet down. Residents began asking questions. Why wasn't the fire being stopped? Why weren't more aggressive measures taken early on? Why were officials downplaying the danger? The answers they received only fueled suspicion. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, residents accused state and federal agencies of mishandling the crisis. Some believed early containment efforts were poorly executed. Others suspected budget concerns were prioritized over their safety. They demanded transparency. They demanded long-term solutions. They demanded accountability. Instead, they were offered buyouts. In 1984, the federal government allocated millions of dollars to relocate residents. But here's where things became controversial. Some families didn't want to leave. This was their home, their memories, their ancestors' graves, their history. When several residents refused relocation, the state invoked eminent domain in the 1990s. Properties were condemned, homes were demolished, street signs were removed, zip codes were revoked. The town wasn't just evacuated, it was systematically erased. By the early 2000s, fewer than a dozen residents remained. In 2002, Centralia's zip code was officially discontinued. Maps stopped labeling it clearly. Nearly every building was torn down. Only a church and a handful of homes remained standing for years. The underground fire? It's still burning today. Experts estimate it could burn for another 200 years. To many Americans, Centralia became a ghost town curiosity. But to former residents, it represented something else. A community that felt silenced. A place where questioning decisions led not to dialogue, but displacement. Was it a necessary safety measure? Or was it a failure of accountability? The debate still lingers. Centralia wasn't destroyed overnight. It faded through policy decisions, legal action, and bureaucratic authority. This story isn't about conspiracy, it's about power. When disaster strikes, who decides the fate of a town? Who determines when relocation becomes mandatory? And what happens when citizens push back? Across American history, there have been other towns relocated for dams, highways, military bases, and environmental disasters. But Centralia remains one of the most haunting examples of a place slowly erased, while its fire continues underground. Today, If you drive through where Centralia once stood, you'll see empty roads, overgrown lots, and smoke rising from cracks in the earth. No bustling downtown, no school bells, no neighborhood block parties, just silence. A town that questioned the response to a crisis and vanished from the map. And somewhere beneath it all, the fire still burns. If you enjoyed this deep dive into forgotten American history, subscribe for more untold stories they didn't teach you in school. Because sometimes, the most chilling chapters of history are the ones that almost disappeared.